Hi, my name is Amit Singh. I am the Chief Executive Officer and one of the senior principals of Alcor Solutions. Alcor is based in the Silicon Valley, but with offices around the globe. I believe we do business in about 17 countries actively today in the areas of ServiceNow, Azure, AWS, analytics, and security.
All right, so thank you, Amit, for being here. Can you tell us a little bit about Alcor's current position in the market, how the company has evolved over the years, and what are you helping your customers with?
Sure. So we started out as a Microsoft partner and then became a ServiceNow partner. Implementation used to be our business till about 3 years back, and or maybe 4 years. And then we knowingly decided to sort of shift away a little bit from being a pure play implementation organization to really focusing a lot more on what I would say as larger business questions. So when you implement something, you're implementing it to really help a company achieve a business objective. And examples, you are doing asset management to actually manage assets, not to implement a software. And so we moved much more into a managed services model, which is a ServiceNow-centric strategy on one hand. But then we also started to grow quite a bit into what we like to call as digital transformation, leveraging the cloud. And so enabling cloud for us means migrating a number of legacy applications as well as legacy infrastructure onto the cloud, as well as really refactoring and writing new cloud-native applications. So that's another big area that we've been doing in the last 3 years. And then finally, a lot of analytics and security work. So ServiceNow-centric growth, which is a lot of it is managed services, cloud enablement, and then security and analytics are really 3 of our pillars of business today in which we work.
Wow, wonderful, that's huge. So when you talk about digital transformation, right, so how does Alcor approach innovation and what steps does the company take to ensure that it remains at the forefront of the IT industry?
Absolutely. So IT in itself has been changing every couple of years. Just this morning, I think we heard about ServiceNow, which 10 years back was really a ticketing software, today is talking about generative AI, large language models and such. So with that extent of change in IT, one has to stay way ahead in terms of innovation, in terms of giving value to your customers. And for us, it's really been looking to move the busy work from man to machine. So we have productized a lot of our offerings. We actually have built, now I believe we have 5 products in ServiceNow Store. We grew a lot on what I would name as really identity and access management world, because that on one hand combines our ServiceNow knowledge base. On the other hand, also our deep domain knowledge and security. And so today we've got products in identity access management called Access Flow, which is doing phenomenally well. It's been implemented by customers across 26 countries. We are also building products in HR space. We are also building products really in the employee enablement area called High Five, and also in analytics, which is really not in ServiceNow, but really a cloud-native product to build analytics dashboards for CIOs. So those are just examples of how we are innovating in terms of taking a product and service-centric strategy, which builds on top of your platforms, whether the platform be ServiceNow, platform be Azure or AWS.
Well, I think that's a large market and a large landscape to cover, accommodating so many solutions, services, and products that you just mentioned. So can you tell us about the unique value proposition that Alcor has to offer and how it differentiates itself from other IT companies in the market?
That's a very interesting question in the sense that as the market matures, as technology changes, your answers change too. The 3 ways to answer that question, 3 sides to that answer really is your people, your own maturity in terms of process and technologies that you work on. So goes without question that you have to have a strong practice-based structure which allows your people the time to research, to learn, to become really good at what they do. And your culture has to allow for that innovation, that thought leadership, you to allow them to make mistakes. And that's really, I think, one of the things that differentiates us, has always differentiated us. But then we started to see that focus also plays a very big role. And so because of that, we came up in the last several years now, 4 years or so, with the concept of really treating each of our clients that we want to do business with, and the clients that want to grow with us, where we have a seat at the table, to start investing ourselves in very specific program management roles. And that's allowed for conversations to take their natural course beyond that of, hey, let's do an implementation of one product, one software. Then you go home, you come back after 7 months. It's led to continuous engagement models and truly business outcomes. So with that structure and that focus, today our QBRs with our clients look like how much did I save you in the last 2 quarters? How many man hours or person hours? How much cost? How did we actually improve your efficiency? How did we get you to market faster? Objective, quantitative metrics at the CIO level is really where we are at today. And I think that's really what differentiates us. We are not a good fit if you just want to go and say, implement this at the lowest cost and go home and leave it to us. Now, I think we are happy to implement it for free if it actually makes sense to build a business relationship that allows us to help you solve the questions that vex their leadership, the questions that relate to budget, that relate to quality, and that relate to market presence. And we've got several case studies around that.
No, that's wonderful. Thank you so much, Amit, for answering that. So when you work with a large set of customers and clients all across the globe, you're present in multiple regions, client focus becomes a question, for many enterprises. So how does Alcor ensure that it meets the specific needs and requirements of its clients? And what steps do you take to ensure that clients receive value for their investments that they make?
Yeah, that's a very nice question too. Think about the fact that we only have 24 hours in a day. And if we don't focus, if we diffuse ourselves, we cannot really do a job well. So we followed that strategy. We took it to heart in our business. And we actually moved out of doing a lot of low value adding activities for our clients. We stopped doing business with 60, 70, 80 concurrent clients. And we said, we need to bring that number way lower so we can really focus on the customers that we want to work with us and build much larger relationships with them. And so that focus really has been, I would say, the driving force behind investing in program managers, investing in conversations that lead to cloud-based transformation, leveraging SaaS solutions like ServiceNow, building on top of them, talking in terms like asset management, taking assets, what's the value, what's the dollar impact, right? In terms of customer and employee engagement, right? Not really on the technology side of, hey, I build and manage 3 of your platforms. The question that comes to the mind of a CIO would often be, so what? What value are you adding to my business? And I think that's really where we are at. We try and make that difference. And you can only make it when you're focused on customers that want to work with you. And so that's really been our strategy. Focus, invest, and work together with a long-term perspective. Do not nickel and dime. Do not take a short-term view. And if you're not a good fit, then cordially, courteously, explain that it's not a good fit and do not do business there.
That's great. So I think that's the story of today, right? How you focus on your customer set, the kind of processes that you're working on. So let me put my final question for you. What is Alcor's vision for the future, and how does the company plan to contribute to that vision?
our vision, which I would say a 3 to 5 year vision, and it's something that we've been seeing in the last year or so, is how much AI is impacting everything around us. The business models, the technology support models that we have been so used to are going to just fall by the wayside in the next 3 years itself. What we talk about as low value-added jobs, plain outsourcing, code development, that's going to slowly be consumed by large language models such as GPT-4, ChatGPT. There will be several versions. Each manufacturer is competing to outdo the next one in that. Outsourcing will stop happening to humans. It'll start to happen more and more to machines, right? So our vision really is to carve out a place in the front row of that AI-empowered world. We are already leading several conversations with our clients on how could we, on working with them, on really looking at their logs. Some of our clients have billions of logs per month being generated. We already have labs that are working through AI, enabled scenarios on what efficiency can we help our clients with on those. So AI is a very big area for us. And I think the last one, which is really going to start happening, is how do we put all of these areas together? Right? We talked about cloud, analytics, security, right? Infrastructure-enabled solutions, and really become, I would say, a strong competitor in the market of AI-leveraged, transformation-leveraged managed services provider, and that's where we are headed.
Wow. That was wonderful communication, Amit, and thank you for your time today.
Thank you.